Welcome to Change Your Story, the podcast that helps women build a fit mind, a fit body, and a fit life from the inside out.
I'm your host and transformation coach, Hannah Dawson. I'm a personal trainer, nutrition educator, and mindset mentor, and I am here to help you feel strong, confident, and free in your body. Not by starving, shrinking, or punishing yourself, but by training with a purpose, eating with a purpose, and having faith through the process so you can change the way you see yourself forever. Inside this podcast, we break free from diet culture, perfectionism, and all the stories that have held you back. We rewrite the new ones rooted in truth, strength, and self-love. You will hear real talk, faith-fueled encouragement, proven fitness and nutrition strategies, and the mindset tools you need to stay consistent, stay focused, and believe in yourself again. If you are ready to stop starting over, build a life you love, and finally change your story, you are in the right place. Let's build a fit mind, a fit body, and a fit life. Let's rewrite your story. Welcome back, my girlies, to the Change Your Story podcast. I'm your host and transformation coach, Hannah Dawson. I'm also the founder of the Fit Club app, your all-in-one female transformation platform where we build a fit mind, a fit body, and a fit life. So if you are looking to up-level your relationship with yourself and become the best version, the most confident, healthiest version of yourself, make sure you see the show notes for your 7-day free trial. I just want to say I'm so excited to be here. We are on episode 4 of the alignment laws. Okay. If you haven't been listening to all the episodes, go and listen to them as each one builds on the next. So we're on episode 4. Today we're talking about the law of resonance. But before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for all of my listeners for being here, sharing this space and this place with me. I just want to let you know how grateful I am for you, and for all my new ladies that have maybe found this podcast through a friend, or maybe you just found it on iTunes. You are in the right space and place. You have been brought here by no accident. I always believe in alignment, the alignment laws. I always believe in divine alignment. And you didn't come on here by random. You are drawn to it. Something in you is ready for your next level, your next shift. And so I'm so excited for you to be here. If you are new and this is the first episode, I highly encourage you to actually go listen to episode 1. I promise each one stacks on top of the other and they will make sense. All right. Before I get into it, if you haven't yet, for those that have, thank you for rating and reviewing the show. If you haven't, it takes 2 seconds. Just go to the homepage, whether you're on Spotify or iTunes, and scroll, hit those 5 stars, leave a little review, maybe your favorite thing, favorite episode, so other women that are looking for this type of podcast can see what you leave and then know that it resonates with them. No pun intended on resonance today. Podcast, you guys, is all about helping women change their story, helping you change your story, not just on the surface, but at the level of your beliefs, your mindset, your relationship with yourself. Because when you change your internal world, your external world will begin to change too. It will start to mirror your dreams, the things that you've always wanted, your hopes, your excitements. And so let's get into today's episode. We've been going over the laws of alignment. And so, the first one we started with was our body, because I think that makes a lot of sense to women, like how to lose weight, or what does that mean? Your bodies follow laws, right? If you want to change your body, you have to understand how your body changes, right? If you want to change your story, you have to understand the laws that govern the universe, the laws that govern your mind. And so once you understand that these laws are always operating, whether you're aware of them or not, whether you believe in them or not, they are working. And so again, the laws of the body, the laws of vibration, the laws of attraction, right? Today, we're going to actually take it a step further, and we're going to talk about the law of resonance. And so what the law of resonance actually is, before we get into any deeper examples, of how this shows up in our lives, let's actually kind of go over what it is. Maybe some of you have heard it, maybe some of you haven't. Once you hear what it is, you'll be like, oh, that makes sense. Scientifically, resonance happens when two things vibrate at the same natural frequency and they begin to amplify each other. So in physics, if something vibrating encounters another object that is tuned into the same frequency, that second object will actually begin vibrating as well. So the energy becomes stronger. That vibration becomes louder, not because more energy was created, but because the frequencies matched and began reinforcing each other, right? That's resonance. Now, when we zoom out and we apply this to life, psychology, personal growth, to our environments, this principle is very similar. Resonance is what happens when patterns, beliefs, emotions, and environments begin reinforcing each other. That is why certain ideas will hit you deeply and why certain environments elevate you. It's also why certain environments can keep you stuck. You could look at it like this. Vibration is the frequency that you're operating at. Attraction is what begins drawing toward that frequency. Resonance is what happens when those frequencies lock in, start amplifying each other. Alignment becomes amplification. That can go both ways for co-creation of your dreams, but also destruction of distortion, disorders, and addictions, right? So there is a reason we're going to talk about resonance after attraction, you guys, because attraction explains why certain things begin showing up in your life. Resonance explains why certain things begin multiplying in your life. Attraction is the initial draw. Resonance is the amplification of that. Are you tracking with me or staying with me? Okay, attraction explains why something starts to enter your life. Resonance explains why it begins to expand in your life. It's the moment where something stops just being an idea and starts activating something inside of you. So one of the classic examples that scientists use, it's called tuning forks. Maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't. If you strike a tuning fork in a room, it will begin vibrating at a certain frequency. Now imagine there's another tuning fork in another room tuned to the exact same frequency. Something really cool happens. That second tuning fork will actually start to vibrate. No one touched it, no one struck it. It simply started vibrating because it was exposed to the same frequency. That's resonance. Energy matches energy. I'll give you an example of how you've probably experienced resonance in your life before. It could look like this. You hear someone say something, and it doesn't just make sense in your head, it hits your chest. You think, oh my God, that is exactly what I needed to hear. That's resonance. That means your vibrational frequency and what you were attracted that what you needed to know. Does that make sense? All right. Or you can read a book and feel like the author is speaking directly to you. That's resonance. Maybe you're listening to this podcast and you are ready at that level and you're receiving, you're like, oh my gosh, how did I not see this before? This is like, give me more, Hannah, like tell me more. I need to know more. Like I want to apply this more. That's resonance. That means that your frequency is a match and it's amplifying that which you are ready to hear. And it's aligning with your vibration and it has been attracted into your life. The message has been. Or here's another example. You meet someone and instantly feel like you're on the same wavelength, right? Like you meet someone and it's like, you're like, you guys could almost finish each other's sentences or you're on the same thought. That's resonance. Resonance is often the moment when people's lives begin to change, because when something resonates with you, you don't just understand it intellectually, you actually start acting on it. Here's the thing though. Have you ever heard a message with somebody and you like, it was like you listen, you're like, wow, that was so good. And the other person had a totally different perception of it. Maybe it didn't resonate with them, right? It's like that is exactly what I needed to hear. that changed everything for me. That thought or what that person had to say, it almost like shifted paradigms for you. It shifted belief systems. It broke you free. And another person could be like, that was interesting, because they weren't in resonance with them. They weren't on that frequency. Their paradigm was still stuck in a different belief system. So they were like the tuning fork. They weren't vibrating with it, but you were, right? And so that's just the difference in resonance. Now, here's something really important to understand. Resonance isn't just positive, okay? Resonance also explains why people stay stuck. And this is really sad. I grew up with a lot of addiction, a lot of people, stuck in addiction generationally, poverty generationally. And so if someone is constantly surrounded by negativity, complaining, victim thinking, limited beliefs, unhealthy habits, addiction, those frequencies begin reinforcing each other. They become very powerful, right? Energy amplifies energy. Eventually that environment starts to feel normal. That's why people in addiction, they say, in order to break free, you have to change people, places, and things. Why? Because we can't be in that frequency. We can't be in that energy anymore, because it amplifies, right? That's why they say, you've probably heard the phrase, you become the average of the 5 people you spend time with. It's true, right? Because when you constantly surround yourself with certain beliefs, conversations, ways of thinking, those patterns start resonating with your own mind, even if it's not what you want or what you truly believe in your heart. It will start becoming who you are, because that's what happens. Energy amplifies energy. Like energy attracts like energy, and it starts changing you. Kind of like this, when someone starts doing healthy things and transforms their life, they start attracting better opportunities in their life. I've seen this multiple times, hundreds of times actually, with women in the Fit Club that have transformed their bodies, and then they've went for careers they never thought that they could do. They started having the babies that they're struggling to have. They met the love of their life. They started making more money. They started becoming more confident. Why? Because they started surrounding themselves with a community that took control of their relationship with themselves. They started working on their mindset. They were surrounded by people that worked on their mindset. They had me as a coach that mentored them to work on their mindset, work on their relationship, do the healthy things for their body. And like I said, like energy attracts like energy. You can't live a positive life and attract negativity. If you are attracting negativity, it's because you are in a vibrational negative state. So it will be really hard for you too if you are in an environment where people are addicted, where people are negative, where the environment is not a safe environment to be able to live out healthy habits for long anyways. It just, the two repel each other. It's like two magnets together. You can't put them together. Or the two back ends of the magnets. I forget what it's like, but I think it's two magnets. They almost push each other apart. You have to be magnetic for the things that you want, or else you will repel the very thing that you want. And so again, if everyone around you believes that life is hard, nothing works out, and change is impossible, or they're always reading the news and listening to the news, and they're stuck in cycles, or they go down the rabbit holes of all the negative things in the world, guess what? You attract that. You start resonating with that. You start drawing more of that into your life, and you stay stuck in cycles. That's why what you talk about, what you repeat, is very powerful, because your words are, I heard it like this, and I don't know who said this. I'm going to have to find out. But you have to think about how powerful your words are. The words mean this. In school, it's called spelling. You're spelling a word. Words are spelling. It's like you're putting spells on. So when you speak, you're spelling into your life. You're creating spells in your life. And so is it creating, manifesting that which is of love, or that which is of fear? What are you spelling in your life? What conditions are you creating in your life? Right? Whatever you're doing, whatever you're speaking, whoever you're surrounding yourself with, those beliefs will begin reinforcing themselves on you. And that's called resonance. And that's in the way that we don't want it to. Again, I see this constantly in the fitness world too. A woman wants to change her health. Everyone around her says, why are you being so strict? just live a little. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that on your journey? It could be your family, the closest people to you, maybe even your kids. They're constantly reinforcing and saying one workout's not going to do anything. Oh, you think you're going to change your life? They're very negative. And maybe that comes from some of their own limited beliefs. And slowly that energy starts pulling you back to your old habits. But here's the thing, when you enter a new environment where people are saying, you've got this, let's train together. Look how strong you're getting. You're doing good. Everything you're doing is working. Something different happens. Growth starts becoming normal. Growth starts becoming a new frequency. That's resonance. Now, I want to say this too. Maybe you're like, well, it's my family. I can't change that environment. No, you can't, but you can change what environments you connect to. So it's kind of like this. For me, I do a lot of different courses. I'm around a lot of high level coaches. I will pay for things because I need to be around more successful people than me. And so the Fit Club is that environment, right? It's not just a physical environment. It could be an environment that you surround yourself with. Because here's the thing, once you start changing and once you focus on you only, it will literally, just like your environment can impact you, you can impact your environment. I have seen countless times women start their health and fitness journeys in the Fit Club and their husbands cannot be on board. Maybe their kids are really struggling with their health too. And all of a sudden, their transformation, them focusing on themselves and their mindsets, start shifting the environment in their house. Then their husband starts working out. Then they start making healthy choices and their kids start eating better. Then their kids start doing better. So it can go both ways, right? So if you can't physically change your environment, then you need to make sure that you're in some sort of supportive environment that can help foster that for you. Now, if it's an environment of toxic friends, ex-nay them, cut them out, focus on yourself. Trust that the universe will bring the right people into your life and join the Fit Club. We have an amazing community of women that are growth minded, that will encourage you. You can dream big. You can say any dream that you want. You don't have to feel belittled or like it's silly or dumb. You can ask any questions you want without feeling that way. And you'll always be supported. You'll always be uplifted. And so back to environments. They matter. They matter more than most people realize, because here's the thing, resonance happens through exposure. The thoughts that you hear repeatedly, the conversations around you, the beliefs that surround you, they all begin influencing what feels normal to you. Energy amplifies energy. And like I said, it's okay if maybe it's coming from your family. Remember, if it's coming from your family, you are the queen of your family, and you can change your whole family dynamic by starting to love yourself and build a relationship with yourself. You don't need to announce it to anybody. You just go to work on you, girl. And I promise your environment will start to shift. Whatever that means, it will always work good for you. I always want to say this, is life is always working for you. Good things are always for you. If you go to work on yourself, life will bring to you what you focus on. It will shift your atmosphere. Now, again, if it's friends, if it's environments, if you have quit drinking, you don't hang out with friends that drink. If you have quit doing drugs, you don't go in those environments that used to trigger you to do drugs. If you're a gambler, you don't go in a casino, right? So if you hung out in certain environments, you don't go and hang out in those environments. If you want to shift your identity, you got to get in new environments, new surroundings, new people. This brings me back to the very first episode. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to edit that episode. You know what I'm trying to say. Here's the thing on self-relationship. Your internal voice is also your environment. The way that you speak to yourself. This is the most powerful magnetic environment that you can create for yourself. The story that you tell yourself about who you are, that internal dialogue becomes a frequency that either supports your growth or reinforces limitation. And you have full power and control to take control of your internal dialogue. And let me tell you, there's going to be painful moments. You're going to have to feel in order to heal. You're going to have to go through those things. But let me tell you, it is exhilarating. It is freedom. I'm on the other side of it. And I'm sure there's more that I'm going to have to grow through. But it is the best thing I ever chose, was choosing choosing to build a relationship with myself, going all in on myself, to fully fall in love with the girl that I saw in the mirror, the woman that I saw in the mirror, because I knew I had to do it for my girls. I had to do it for my husband. I had to do it for my highest self, for my dreams, the things that I want to create. I knew that if I didn't start building a relationship with myself, I would never reach that. I would be depressed. I'd be anxious. I'd be stuck in limited beliefs for the rest of my life. And there's nothing more depressing than that. So I thought, this is it. You either start building her up and start loving her where she's at, or you choose to live miserable, right? So again, it is incredibly important to understand that your behavior will always follow your beliefs. You will always default back to your belief systems. You might temporarily change your habits. We've all been there. But if the belief underneath doesn't change, eventually your behavior will return to match that belief. And on the external level, this looks like yo-yo dieting. A lot of women do it. Or yo-yoing with addictions or disorders. We do it for a bit and then we go back because we never replaced the identity. We tried to get rid of the habit without replacing a new identity to match the new habit. And so if the belief underneath doesn't change, eventually you're just going to keep defaulting to the old behavior, the old beliefs. And so, summing everything up, you guys, the laws are always working for you, for your highest good. They don't turn on and off. They're always working, whether you want to close your eyes and pretend they're not and not take responsibility for your life, or you want to say, frick, these are working, these are powerful laws. I can create anything I want in my life. Yeah. Then you're going to simply respond to the belief, the energy, and the behaviors, and you're going to make them work for you. Remember, the law is neutral. It doesn't care whether you believe in good or whether you're operating from fear or love. It will start producing whatever you believe. It will reflect what is being reinforced. This is why understanding the laws is so powerful, because once you understand, life will stop feeling random. You begin to see that your beliefs matter, your environment matters, your internal dialogue matters, your self-relationship matters. And when those things shift, your results will begin to radically shift too. I want to go back quickly to talk about something that we talked about in the first episode, the laws of the body. Stay with me, because something really powerful happens when you start seeing how all these laws connect. The laws of the body, the laws of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of resonance, they're not separate. They actually all work together in coherence. It's like a circle. Each one affects the other. And it's really important when we start talking about our health, our body, the stories we carry about ourselves, because a lot of women believe their body is broken. They believe, I just don't have discipline. My metabolism is ruined. My body won't change. I've tried everything. It's my hormones. I have insulin resistance. I have diabetes. We have the fat gene. I've always been overweight since I've been a child. Or, we always have joint issues in our family. Like, we are reinforcing negative beliefs, negative systems, negative things that are keeping us there, that are keeping us stuck. And I want to say this, what if the issue isn't that those conditions are keeping you broken or keeping you stuck? What if they're not at all? What if the issue is that the story that you're carrying about your body is keeping you in resonance with the same pattern? Because here's something incredibly important to understand. The body follows the mind, not the other way around. Your health, your habits, the way you treat your body, the way you show up for yourself are heavily influenced by the beliefs and the identity that you hold about yourself. Your thoughts create a frequency. That frequency attracts patterns. And over time, those patterns, they begin resonating and reinforcing each other. Like I said, resonance compounds. It becomes this very powerful magnetic frequency that attracts everything to it and becomes so strong. So the real question, ladies, for today is this. Are you going to intentionally begin working with these laws? Or are you going to continue reinforcing the same story? Because here's the thing, once you start seeing the patterns, you can't really go back living unconsciously. You begin noticing the beliefs. You begin noticing the environments. You begin noticing the thoughts that start shaping your life. And that awareness is where real change begins. But it's also where we can learn to tap in or tap out. That awareness can also bring up pain. So are we going to learn to tap in and go in, or are we going to numb out? That's the question. Once you notice, it can feel scary. And so, that's a moment when maybe it's really heavy for you and you need to seek therapy and you need to seek some guidance and somebody to talk to about it. Or maybe it's something that you're willing to meditate on, pray about, work through, do some of the courses in the Fit Club app, really start creating for yourself a morning routine and really work through these. Again, awareness is where you're going to choose. You get to choose. Are you going to co-create? Are you going to start changing? Are you going to start aligning with the laws and learn to remove and deal with those things that have kept you stuck? Or are you going to not? Are you going to numb out? Are you going to tap out and just not deal with them and just say, peace, I can't do this? That's where choice comes in. That's where power comes in. And this is really where I want to bring this whole series together. Because remember, the series is called The Laws of Alignment. Alignment simply means living in harmony with the laws that govern your mind, your body, and your life. So just like the body follows physical laws, your life follows psychological and energetic laws. And they are put there by whatever you believe. God, source, they are there. That's what makes the world the way it is. Everything works in harmony, whether we like it or not. These laws are always operating. They're always responding to your beliefs, your focus, your environments, what you surround yourself with, and the story that you tell yourself about who you are. So in a sense, you are always in alignment with something. And if your thoughts, beliefs, and environment reinforce growth and possibility, you begin feeling in alignment. It's the best feeling. Right? But when your thoughts and beliefs and environments reinforce limitation, you begin feeling out of alignment. And not because something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. But because you're working against the laws instead of with them. Remember, you are worthy. You are born worthy. Before you even were born, you are worthy. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of feeling your best. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of wealth. You're worthy of abundance. You're worthy of it all. You need to know that you are worthy. That has got to be a new belief, a new mantra for you. So, in the next episode, the final episode in the laws of alignment, now that you understand the laws, we're going to start going a little bit deeper in the last episode. And we're going to have some conversations about, something people talk about all the time. And that is creating your life intentionally. In order to create our life intentionally, we need to understand our beliefs. We need to understand identity, thoughts, and actions, and how that begins to shape our reality. And that's what we're going to explore next. And then we're going to start our new series that is going to build on this series, which I'm so excited. It's a word that is thrown out there that is totally misunderstood. And it's actually very powerful in its manifestation. And again, it is just such a cool thing when you understand how manifestation is a result of the laws. And so stay tuned. Next week, we're going to talk about belief systems. And so the question that I want you to reflect on today is, what energy are you resonating with? Your environment, your conversations, your beliefs, your internal dialogue, because whatever you consistently resonate with will eventually begin amplifying your life. So really think about that. Again, it's not like magic. It doesn't happen at once, but if you do the real work, if you work on your self-relationship, if you think about the things that you want and allow yourself to have the things that you want, and work on the beliefs that tell you can't have the things that you want and get rid of them, and, work on this, you're going to begin amplifying a lot of amazing things in your life, which is going to bring in certain things that what we call is manifestation. We're going to talk about that in the next series. But next week, again, I'll repeat myself, we're talking about belief systems. I know we did in the self-love series, but we're going to go a little bit deeper, and I'm going to explain it in such a cool way that's really going to help you work through those limited beliefs that can block your frequencies, that can make you energetically attract frequencies that you don't want to be on. And a lot of the time it's because we default to our belief systems, and we have to shift the belief systems to get in the frequency of the version of ourselves that we want to be. That is it. That is all. If this episode resonated with you, girls, share it with somebody. If somebody came to your heart, share it with that person, because, we all want to grow together. And when we are working and growing together and evolving together, we change stories. And when we change stories, when we change our stories, and when we love ourselves, we change the world. And that's all it is. Love makes the world go round. But first, you need to love yourself. First, you need to work on yourself. Make sure that you subscribe to the Change Your Story podcast. Hit those 5 stars. Leave me a review. Let me know what you love. Let the women know what you love. And that is it. That is all. Until next time. Bye for now.